Cooper's career was ended due to injury. Arch Manning's career is going to be ended due to being shitty. Or should I say Pitt, bitch? Y'all ain't doing nothing. Pitt's been irrelevant since Kenny Pickett left in 2021. Yeah! Well, you want to know what Clemson is? Not shit. I am over Colorado's shit. Over. That's one of the biggest things as a fan base that we always say. You don't lose to Vanderbilt. As they fucking should be, dead last, because you fucking suck and you're dog shit. Okay?
Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. We're back at it again with the 2026 college football record predictions. And up today, the Sucknut Man, Ohio State. This video is going to be pretty quick, easy, and simple. We're going to talk about Ryan Day real quick. Not going to be much to talk about. It's pretty simple. Then we're going to recap 2025, and then we're going to go ahead and hop into the 2026 record predictions. So, let's get right into this because I'm going to try to get more than one video out today if possible. So Ryan Day has been the head coach for the Ohio State Buckeyes since 2019 after the departure of Urban Meyer. He was on his staff there. Since taking over as the head coach, his record is 82-12. He has a $12.5 million annual salary. Oh, wow. From 1998 to 2001, he was the New Hampshire quarterback and linebacker. He played two positions. His first coaching job was at New Hampshire in 2002. He was at Boston College from 2003 to 2004. He was at Florida in 2005, Temple 2006, Boston College from 2011 to 2011. 2007 to 2011. Good Lord, I'm still trying to wake up. Damn. Temple from just 2012. Went back to Boston College from 2013 to 2014. He was at the Eagles and 49ers from 2015 to 2016. Then, of course, he was on Urban Meyer's staff up until he took the head coaching job in 2019, where he's been pretty successful. His bowl record's 6-5, and his college football playoff record's 5-4. He has one national championship, of course, in 2024, two Big Ten championships, 2019, 2020, three Big Ten East Division championships, 2019, 2020, and 2021. He was the Big Ten Coach of the Year in 2019. So there you have it. Keep it short, sweet, and simple there. Now let's go ahead and recap last year for the Buckeyes. They went 12-2, 9-1 in the Big Ten. They beat Texas 14-7 in just a defensive shootout. Both teams had pretty good offenses last year, but something in that game it's like a magnet meeting the same side and they just can't connect. That's kind of what that game felt like. Then they beat Grambling State 70-0. Beat Ohio 37-9 going into the bye week. Went on the road at Washington, won 24-6. That's a pretty impressive win. Washington's been one of those borderline bubble teams, and for that to be on the road, that's a pretty good win. Beat Minnesota at home 42-3. Went at Illinois, won 34-16. That's another decent Big Ten team. I don't think they're playoff caliber, but they've been, circling around 8 to 9 wins a season the past few years. Beat Wisconsin on the road 34-0. Of course, I've stated on multiple occasions, I don't like the Luke Fickell deal with Wisconsin. I don't think he's going to be there very much longer. Coming off a bye week, they beat Penn State 38-14. We all know Penn State had a down year last year, went 7-6. They did beat Clemson in the Pinstripe Bowl, though. So, Clemson, you're fucking dog shit. Like, you're even worse than Penn State right now. That's bad, bro. That's fucking bad. And what sucks is that you guys kept your fucking head coach. Penn State was smart enough to be like, all right, fuck this guy. Yeah. Penn State this year is pretty much going to be the damn Penn State Cyclones. They kind of did what Auburn did with South Florida through the portal with Iowa State. But anyway, they went on the road at Purdue, won 34-10. Purdue's fucking dog shit. Then they hosted two home games in a row, beat UCLA at home 48-10. That was Nico's first season there last year. They popped off, had a few good wins, but other than that, UCLA was pretty much dog shit, man. Then they beat Rutgers 42-9. You notice the trend here. They pretty much beat the shit out of whoever they play for the most part. Went on the road at the Big House at Michigan. Prior to that, they hadn't beat Michigan since 2019. They went in there and handled business 27-9 and got that monkey off their back. That was pretty impressive. And they would finish the regular season undefeated. They went into the Big Ten championship game where they would lose to Indiana 13-10, and Indiana, of course, was the eventual national champion. And looking at Ohio State's schedule, this is actually kind of cool if you think about it from a Buckeye fan's perspective, because they made it to the quarterfinals in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl and lost to Miami 24-14. Well, Ohio State's 2 losses last year were to the 2 teams that played in the big game, the national championship, Indiana, Miami. So that should make you feel good, Ohio State fans. Your 2 losses were to arguably the 2 best teams last year. And I would say Ohio State was right there in the mix. But you fell short in both games. And, of course, disappointing season compared to 2024. But, hey, Ohio State definitely shut me the fuck up. You don't hear me say as much about them anymore. I mean, do I like them? No, but can I shit on them and do this and do? And I really can't anymore. So you got the monkey off your back. And that said, we're going to go ahead and go into the 2026 record prediction for the Ohio State Buckeyes. I've already done the Texas prediction. I have Ohio State winning that, even though it is on the road at night. That's going to be a tough one. Texas is going to be looking for revenge, but I don't think that's going to be a problem for Ohio State. I think you get the win there. At Indiana, I have you guys losing that one. Of course, I took Indiana to go undefeated simply because Google him. Kirk Cignetti wins, and until he starts losing, I'm not going to predict a damn loss for him. So, yeah. I have you guys losing to Indiana. And then I have you guys beating Michigan at home simply because you finally got that monkey off your back last year. So I think you're going to handle business against Michigan this year. I do think Michigan's going to be a pretty decent team this year with head coach Kyle Whittingham. Of course, he has a lot of experience. I think Bryce Underwood should take a step in the right direction under him, but I'm not quite sure. Bryce Underwood was a fucking trash can last year, so if they can't get the quarterback play fixed, Whittingham might be in trouble in his first season at Michigan. But there you have it. I have you with 2 victories and a loss to start off this prediction video. Let's go ahead and give you 2 more wins against Ball State and Kent State, so you start 3-0. Then you play Illinois at home. You blew them out on the road last year, so I don't have a real reason to take Illinois here, so I'm going to think you start 4-0. Illinois' head coach talks a lot of shit, and he has former SEC experience, and he's shitting on the SEC when he didn't even fucking pan out at Arkansas, so he can shut the fuck up. So hopefully Ohio State gives him a big slice of humble pie, and you can go fuck yourself. You start 4-0. At Iowa, I think Iowa's going to be all right this year. Of course, they're going to have a good defense. They never have an offense, though, and I think that's exactly why Ohio State goes on the road and handles business and advances to 5-0. Come back to host Maryland. I think Maryland's going to have a decent team this year, maybe defensively especially, but this being in Columbus, I don't see why they're going to give you too much trouble, so I think you advance to 6-1 before, of course, you lose to Indiana. And then after that Indiana loss, you're 6-1 going into your bye week, which I think is very beneficial. You get to have that bye week before you have a pretty tough stretch of games after the bye week. At USC, that's probably going to be a tricky one. I'm excited for that game. The problem is Lincoln Riley doesn't know how to field a fucking defense. And every year he has the same routine. The defense looks great in practice and camps and stuff. He hypes it up and this and that, and then it's the same fucking problem. That said, I think you have the same damn problem, Lincoln Riley, and Ohio State wins and advances to 7-1. Before you come back home to host Oregon, this is a game I'm kind of 50-50 on. I'm not real sure which way to lean here. So I'll give Ohio State the benefit of the doubt, and since it's at home, I think Ohio State wins a close one and advances to 8-1. Northwestern, they're supposed to be a little better this year with transfer quarterback Aiden Childs. They were pretty good last year, and I think they're returning a lot of their production. That said, I don't think they're going to be good enough to compete with Ohio State, so I think you advance to 9-1. Then you go at Nebraska. Call me crazy here. I think you lose this. Now, I don't know why, and Ohio State's probably going to win this game. But I just think this is in a tough spot after a physical stretch of games here. At Indiana, bye week at USC, Oregon. Northwestern might put up a bit of a fight, for a little while and throw Ohio State off. I think Nebraska is a trap game. I think Ohio State's going to go into that game overlooking Nebraska as they head into that game of the year for them, Michigan, at home. And I think they're going to overlook Nebraska. And I think Nebraska upsets Ohio State. And you fall to 9-2 before going 10-2 in the regular season, beating Michigan. So, hey, I at least gave you the win against your rival despite being upset by Nebraska. I just think you're going to put too much focus on Michigan the next week that you're going to lose to Nebraska. Now, could you beat Nebraska? Yeah. Could you beat Indiana? Yeah. You could go 12-0 in the regular season. Could you also fucking lose to Texas? Yeah. I mean, worst case scenario here, looking at the schedule, you could lose to Texas. You could lose to Illinois. You could lose to Iowa. You could lose to Indiana, USC, Oregon, and Michigan. There are tons of games on here that Ohio State could lose, but I got you winning most of them. So I just think it's funny to take one potential upset being Nebraska late in the year, right before that game against Michigan. So there you go. Ohio State goes 10-2 in the regular season. You do make the playoffs, in my opinion, and I would say probably the Big Ten title game, depending on what I have Ohio State going. So, I mean, I like I said, 10-2. I still got to do the Oregon prediction. So that's the biggest thing here. I do think Indiana's making the Big Ten title game. So just got to see what Oregon does. But yeah, there you go, 10-2, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.